Hello everyone, I am Deepak Niyal and I welcome you to my YouTube channel The Easy Concepts. I have been getting many requests from you guys to start a series of tutorials on data structure and algorithms. So I have thought a lot about it and thought of providing a complete package to you which is helpful for you in placement preparations. So before starting with those things, what I am going to teach in whole series of videos, I am going to tell you for whom this video series is going to be important. So before you start this series, you should be aware whether this video series is for you or not. So first of all, if you are trying to get into companies like service based or product based companies, this series is certainly going to be helpful for you. For that, you are either a student of BCA, BTech, MCA or MSc IT or any other computer science background, or if you are from any other background, engineering background, and you are trying to get into these type of companies like product based or service based companies, this video series is certainly going to help you. Okay, so the thing that I am going to discuss here is not about DS and algo only. I know that DS and algo is very important for the placement preparation, but there are other things also, like you need a programming language in which you can implement these things. So I will certainly go into DS and algo in detail, but I will talk about a programming language. Programming language could be C, C++, Java or Python, but specifically in which I am interested here is C and C++. So why these two languages I have chosen? So first thing is, C is important because there are some basic concepts and most of the engineering students go through C programming language in first year, so they are already aware about this, right? So we should brush up these concepts like pointers, arrays, strings, data types, storage classes and so on. And once we are aware about those concepts, we should be aware about the OOP concept also that are basically asked in the interviews. So you could either use C++ or Java for that. Most of the companies do not talk about Python in the interviews. If a company is specifically hiring for Python, that is fine, but when we talk about interview or concepts in interviews, we generally talk about C, C++ or Java, but I will prefer C and C++ here. Okay, there is a reason behind choosing C++. When you do competitive programming or you write some code, C++ is generally fast in writing and in execution both. And for the competitive programming, I will choose C++ over C also, because C is difficult to type sometime, because when you write when you use format specifier, it becomes difficult in C, right? So from that perspective also C++ is good, and that's my personal choice. You can choose any other language if you wish to do so. And most of the time what happens, all the companies provide you choice of all the languages, but there are some specific cases I have seen where company only provide 3 languages like C, C++ and Java. So in these 3 languages I mostly prefer C++. Okay, so it's your choice which language you want to work on, but I am going to take this series in a way where I will be discussing DS, algo and then C and C++ concepts. Okay, there is already series running where I discuss C++ concepts. You can go and check that also. Other than this, I am going to talk about few projects. If you see one of the series in my videos, you will find out there is a series on projects also, so you can refer that. But we need few projects if you want to go into the placements and get a good placement. So we need a couple of projects for that. Okay, other than that, we need some basics of operating system, DBMS, computer networks and web basics, right? If you are preparing for GATE, then I hope you are already aware about these concepts in depth, and you don't need some extra preparation for that. Okay, that kind of preparation will be sufficient for placements also. Now there are two things that are important in placement preparation. One is aptitude and another is verbal. I am not going to talk about these things here, but if you need some kind of help on that, I can help you on that also. But basically I will be focusing on technical parts like C, C++, DS, algo, projects and OS, DBMS, computer network and basics of web. All right. Now the things that are important to keep in mind here is that I am not going to invent anything. Everything that I am going to tell you is written somewhere in some books or in some websites which I will be referring throughout the series, and then taking gist out of that or taking important material out of that and teaching you. Alright, so don't take it on heart if you find anything, any examples that are being copied from somewhere else, or the concepts or the exact definition that I am going to pick from somewhere else. So you don't feel bad for that. You can read either those books or just go through this series of tutorials. If you don't want to go through this series of tutorials that I am going to teach you here, you can basically go to the description part in this video, see the number of books and website that I am going to refer here, and read those, or maybe you can go into that and try to explore on your own. Okay, I think that is a difficult part to explore on your own, so that's why we need a teacher somewhere, or sometime we need a guide with us, a mentor with us who can guide us through the process, give us some important things to learn, tell us some important concept, tell us some path we should follow, and then reach the destination. Okay, so I hope I will be helpful for you guys in this part, and you will be following what I am going to teach you here, right? So let me tell you a few things that I am going to follow here. So first book that I am going to follow here is Introduction to Algorithms, and it is the Bible of algorithm actually, and most of the computer science students follow this book worldwide, and this book is written by Corman, and there are some other authors, but we know this book from the Corman. Another book is DS and Algorithm Made Easy. It's written by Narasimha Karmanchi. You can find out this book on Amazon.com or Amazon.in if you are in India. Other book you can see is Cracking the Coding Interviews. Some of the examples that I will be taking will be from this book also. Then there is a very important book, Computer System, A Programmer's Perspective, written by Bryant. This book is basically written from a programmer's perspective, how a programmer can see system, right, or how a programmer can see system from inside. If you are running a C program and a C++ program, how that program starts and how that program ends is all written in this book. Alright, so I will be taking some of the text from this book also, and will teach you the things that are important. Then the website that I am going to follow are Geeks for Geeks. I hope you all know about this website. And then there is another website, Interview Bit. There are very good questions in this website, so I will be following that also. Other than that, if you are into competitive programming, you can follow Hacker Earth, Hacker Rank for the basic programming, Lead Code and Codesep. So what is the difference between these four websites that I have told you right now? So Hacker Rank is basically for the basic programmers. If you are starting, there are some easy question on that. If you don't know anything about competitive programming and how to code if companies come for placements, they basically ask 2 or 4 questions, sometime 2, sometime 4, depend on the companies. Basically most of the time it is two questions. So if you don't know anything about that kind of questions or competitive programming, you can basically follow the Hacker Rank in the beginning, right? For the theory part, there are very good articles written in Hacker Earth, so you can follow that. After that, you can move to Lead Code and solve easy questions. For most of the companies, easy questions are good to go. You can solve easy questions if you are a fresher. If you are an experienced programmer, or if you are an experienced one, you can follow medium and hard also. And if you want to take part in some competition, you can go to the Codesep, right? So one question that many programmer or many student ask, is it important or it is necessary to go into the competitive programming and prepare for the placements of product based companies? So my answer to this is not a perfect yes, but I will not say no either, because saying no means you don't need to go into these websites and do anything, and saying yes means you have to go there and do a lot of things. So I will basically say that you should have a grasp on your DS algorithm concepts, but you should be aware about the way the programming is done on these platforms. Okay, so if you are well aware about the concepts on DS algo, a little bit of programming on these platforms will give you a edge in the interviews and in the recruitment process, and there are high chances that you will be selected in these companies. Okay, so now moving forward, let me tell you what I am going to discuss in C and C++. So first I will be talking about data types, then how compiler works, pointer, recursion, arrays and strings, loops, conditional statements, and then we'll solve some questions on these topics. Basically we will be solving questions along with the theory part. So what I am going to do, I am going to divide all the things into theory and practical part, and we'll be learning some concept and then solving question on those basis. I will be talking about OOP concept also. So I will be talking about basically C++ thing, but if you need we can talk about Java also. Then in the DSN algo we will be talking about arrays, strings, hashing, sorting, searching, trees, graphs, stack, queue, linked list and so on. There are a lot of things that we need to cover, but once we start with these things we can carry on with the examples, with the different concept that we keep on getting. Maybe you request something and I can carry on that basis also, right? It all depends on your support and your response from this series. So these things I am going to discuss here, right? In the projects you can go to the project series, and that is on my channel, and look into those projects and design some of them. One more thing that I am going to do here is I am going to create a repository on GitHub where I will be pushing all the codes or all the notes. You can refer that for this thing, and later on I will be teaching about basics of operating system, DBMS, computer network and web, right? As I have already told you, if you are working or if you are preparing for GATE, then these things should not be that difficult for you, right? So I think I am done with this introductory video. In most of the videos you are not going to see my face because I will be teaching you on the screen, so I hope you will not mind with that, right? So if you have any questions or any doubts or anything else related to this, you can always ask your queries in the comments, and I will try to respond each and everyone if possible. Okay, so now I will wind up with this video. If you like my video or series of videos, any videos you have watched in my channel, and if you like those, please subscribe the channel and share it with your friends so that I can work more hard for your betterment, and these things can go to a wider audience. Okay, so thank you so much. See you in the next video with a first video of this series with a new concept. Till then, thank you so much. Bye bye.